Hey everyone, Mishi Mavros here. A couple things. First off, cut my bangs because I was cosplaying as Mesa Mesa from Death Note over the weekend, and I'm already really regretting it. So if you see me playing with my hair even more than I usually do, that's why. It's because, they're so annoying. The other thing is something that's been on my mind for a while in regards to my channel. I'm feeling a little bit, I guess, worried that I'm coming off as a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more neurotypical than I actually am. I'm always trying to be happy and bubbly and like we can get through this together kind of thing, like kumbaya, whatever the fuck that means. And it's not really who I actually am as a person. I'm usually pretty pessimistic. I have a lot of mood swings. I'm usually pretty rageful. I have bouts of depression. I get anxiety a lot. Usually, the only time I'm really happy is doing my videos. I love being in front of the camera, as you can probably tell. So I get a little bit manic. So I wanted to kind of talk about maybe mania and BPD and mania in another video, but this video I wanted to focus on something that I think we all can relate to, the reason that we are usually happy, and that is because of our idealization and our favorite person. A lot of people have been asking me actually to make a video on on uh, on favorite people and if I have one and kind of what that means and if it's a trait of borderline. And I think that it definitely is because we have the splitting where we usually split black, but we can also split white. So that means that person is in very, very high regards. We love them and they can do no wrong, basically. So I definitely have this a lot. I usually have a favorite person. I also find that sometimes I have more than one favorite person. So I have maybe two favorite people. And usually that favorite person is the one that I'm dating, like in a relationship with. And then I also might have like a friend as a favorite person. So usually one, sometimes two, sometimes it can be more. But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today is favorite people and idealization and why those are the things that make us happiest. Because we rely on other people a lot to shift our moods. So I find that if I'm not around my favorite person, I usually can't get out of a bad mood. They're kind of the only thing that can lift me up out of it. And that is usually for us a person that we're in a relationship with or like a best friend. And this favorite person in question is someone that may be in our lives for a long time. Maybe we just recently met them, but we feel a very, very strong connection with them. Sometimes it can even border on obsession. So that means that we want to spend all of our time with them. They're just like the best thing in since sliced bread. They make us so full and happy. We usually go to them for advice. We value their opinion way more than other people's. We like to, you know, they take us out of our moods, and when they're not around, it's really hard to get out of those moods. Even when we're having like a good time, if that favorite person is not there, it's not really as fun. I'm always like, but I wish my boyfriend was here. I wonder what he would think. Even when I'm not with him, even if we spend like a long, long time together, if I'm away from him for a little bit, I do get pretty depressed and I do get very sad. And sometimes the only thing that helps me through the day is knowing that I'm going to see him soon. I understand that it's not necessarily fair to put these people on a pedestal the way that we do, but these are our coping mechanisms since we were very, very young. Our inner child is trying to, I guess, like they are our everything. They are our supplier of happiness and a lot of times in other ways are emotional, physical, financial, even sometimes they are just everything to us. So that is sometimes a bad thing because we should be able to obviously cope on our own and find other ways of coping and having those skills without needing that other person. Sometimes we need to obviously fend for ourselves and they're not always going to be there. So forcing them to be in this position can be very toxic, not only for us but for that person as well. So I'm still definitely learning how to cope and how to be comfortable with my own self and my own company. But as of right now, I still very strongly feel that sense of complete admiration and complete love. If someone were to ask you like a negative trait about your favorite person, you have a really hard time thinking of something because you're just like there's nothing wrong with them. So it's really the opposite of hatred. It's all consuming, and not thinking about that person is sometimes very difficult, and taking things slowly is really hard for us. We kind of just dive in. It's kind of like immediately like an infatuation. And an infatuation assumes that we don't necessarily know the person well, which could be true. We may not know them the utmost, but we could have developed a very strong relationship over time that has caused us to now attach ourselves to them. So I think that going forward, you can still have a favorite person, but also trying to rely more on yourself and developing those skills within yourself rather than relying on that other person to constantly give you that affection and love. Developing self-love and being comfortable being alone is what people always tell me to do. And it's really difficult because I have no idea how to love myself. Years and years have gone by and I've slowly started to develop some traits of self-love and self-care, but it's obviously, it's a long time coming. So it's going to take a very long time. And I'm also wondering if you guys would like me to one day have like a, what do you call it? Like a live stream. So I could talk a little bit more personally about my struggles, and so it's not just like on the internet, like on YouTube. I understand it's still gonna be on the internet, but it's more like, I feel like personal. I feel like I can dive more into like truly my BPD and stuff like that, and also answer questions and just have like a grand old time being live. Because I'm worried with my videos. They're going to be put out there forever, and a lot of people do see, and a lot of people comment, and I'm also worried that people in my real life are watching them and they don't want to see me succeed. A lot of that too is also like from my own mind. I'm worrying about it myself, but I also do have a lot of people in my life that hate me, so that's kind of just like a lot of things going on in my mind. But I think that with the help, obviously, of my favorite person and a lot of friends and stuff, I'm slowly learning to become more comfortable with myself and instead of relying on other people. So if you guys have a favorite person, let me know. And a lot of you guys were like mentioning it before. And so yeah, I definitely do get that. And idealization is very, very strong, as well as the devaluation. And I think that it's also a problem too, because the idealizations sometimes be so strong that if they're not available at that time, it can very quickly become devaluation, and it can very, very quickly change our moods so much to the point where we are now very depressed, very anxious, sometimes even suicidal, because that person's not giving us anything, and we feel empty. We feel completely empty when we don't have them. So it's definitely it can become very negative. So just having that balance is very important. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back with you guys next week with another video. So fucking lame. Bye.